Hello again. Happy Monday, all of you beautiful people. Welcome to episode 2 of TIT The Inappropriate Therapist. I'm Jill, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker and have worked with kids and families for over 20 years. Today on TIT, we are discussing empathy. What is empathy? Well, the definition is the action of understanding, being aware of, being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experience of another. What does empathy mean to you? Is it the giving of empathy? Is it a misunderstanding of what empathy is? Or are you an empath who's constantly exhausted from other people's emotions? How do you know you're an empath? How do you show empathetic feelings towards others? Did you sometimes feel exhausted by conversations with people? Do you find yourself willing to do anything to help someone, even though they would most likely not do the same for you? Do you beat yourself up after helping someone and wonder why you go the extra mile? Do you do things for others and then wonder why no one does these things for you? Do you think you're born as an empath? Or is it something that you learn to survive with? I don't have the answer, which is why we're discussing this on today's episode, and I would love your feedback on this episode as well. I am an empath. I am one of those really exhausted people. As a child growing up, I didn't realize I was an empath. But looking back into my childhood, I can see how I became who I am and why I have so much baggage and trauma from my upbringing, especially having a fearful, avoidant attachment style on top of being an empath. Growing up, I was the youngest of 4 kids. There was a bigger age gap between myself and all my siblings, all being over 4, 6, and 8 years older than me. I was, and will always be, the baby of the family. The one who, by the time my parents got to me, they were tired of raising kids. They gave me a gold card and sent me on my way. There was one brother in the mix of 3 siblings, who were girls, who I swear hated me since the day I was born. My older 2 siblings were followers, always abided by family rules and constructs, how the family was perceived by our community. They did not like having a sibling who marched to her own tune and did what they wanted. My brother tortured me. When I tell you tortured, I mean tortured. I still have PTSD from this. He would torture me my whole life by flushing my head down the toilet and hurting me emotionally and physically, while my parents denied he did anything wrong. Well, he was the only boy in the family, which made him the golden child. The reason I bring this up is I could see and feel the discrepancies in my family, and it was exhausting. I was the only one who tried to diminish fights, be funny in order to stop escalation, and tried to keep a fun and light household that I could survive in. Feeling all of the feelings from my parents and siblings made me feel inadequate in my own family system. I had feelings of low self-esteem, always making jokes for people to like me, and doing anything, anything to fit in. Looking back as a child, I was an oddball, always wanting to fit in because, well, I was weird. I was an empath and I reacted to everyone's feelings and I didn't know what to do with those feelings. I never wanted anyone to be unhappy because I thought being happy meant that you had a normal childhood. As discussed in episode 1, we were a sweep it under the rug type family. I could never express my true feelings, and the only love I was raised with was conditional love. Do what we tell you, and well, we love you. But if you don't do what we tell you, and you do your own thing, we do not love you. This went as far into wills, changing them yearly, depending on who would listen to that person and who wouldn't. While there are many issues with conditional love, for me, I was desperate to be seen, but refused to live my life to anyone else's standards. I also do not know how to receive unconditional love at this point. I feel there's always something being held over my head, and I feel others' disappointment and always blame myself. I was never good enough for my family, so then why would I be good enough for anyone else? Now, as an adult and doing years of therapy, I've turned my empathetic skills into a career. I am really good at my job. I'm really good at connecting with people, establishing trust through connection and empathy. I can watch a room change in front of my eyes, but often can take me time to process the changes, and in the meantime, I usually go silent and exhausted. The unfortunate part is you don't always realize where the exhaustion comes from right away. A few years ago, I was talking to a family member about issues we were having. During our discussion, something shifted, and one of the family members became disengaged right before my eyes. She began playing with their dog, throwing the ball, getting fidgety in her seat, moving all the time, avoiding eye contact, and she literally shut down mid through this discussion. I knew and saw this happen, but I couldn't process why. A week or two later, she asked me to talk again, as she had many unshared things that she wanted to talk about that she didn't get the chance to do due to her own disengagement in the conversation. I realized then what had happened. She did not want to say her true feelings in front of the other family members and wanted a private conversation so she can have her say. I did not oblige. I felt that she had asked us to come over to talk. She didn't get her way and didn't want to make an ass out of herself in front of the other two family members that were sitting there. Not only was the event of disengagement hurtful to me, but it also the part that she wanted a private conversation, knowing that I'm an empath, to make me feel bad about decisions that she has made. You want to talk about exhausting? That's fucking exhausting. This is why I'm an oddball. I feel others' emotions deeply, and it carries with me. I ruminate over things like this over and over in my head. I cannot let things go. At times, and often, find myself blaming myself for others people's shit. I also tend to blame myself when others aren't happy around me, even though it may have nothing to do with me. I always think that it's my fault, or I have to fix them. It drives me crazy when you know someone is struggling, but they don't want to tell you what is bothering them. But honestly, fuck, I do it myself. When something bothers me, I hold it in, and I do not think that others care about my feelings. Why would they? I don't communicate them very well. And, well, that's what I was taught as a child. This was the sweep it under the rug. This is what makes your mental health worse. You cannot go through life sweeping things under the rug as much as you feel that it is a coping skill. You have to get it out in some way. Holding it in, you feel or feeling that your emotions are not validated, that can destroy you. It destroyed me for a long time. I stayed in a 16-year marriage because of this. I felt bad leaving my ex-husband, even though he was never physically present or emotionally present. I just thought this is what a relationship was because, well, this is how I grew up, making sure people knew that we had a perfect family with the perfect life. No such thing. It was all bullshit. I had 4 kids with this man, and now he has nothing even to do with them. How is that normal? I have hid this for years, but how does that serve me or my kids? It was an unhealthy living situation with addiction and fighting. When I finally decided that I wanted more, everything changed and my outlook on life changed. You do not have to be a perfect person. You do not have to be empathetic. You do not have to be anything that you don't want to be. And who really gives a flying fuck what the people in your peripheral vision have to say about your life? You never have to be what anyone expects you to be. Fuck others and what they think you should do. Do you tell others how they should live their life? Probably not. People want control. Every single one of us, whether you are ready to admit that or not. Only you have the power to make yourself happy. And if people are not happy with your decisions, well, those little cunt nuggets can go try and manipulate someone else. Stay strong. Be you. Don't put up with other people's bullshit that they try projecting onto you. You are amazing. You are human. There's no such thing as perfection, and you are beautiful. Thank you for joining me for this episode of TIT, and cannot wait to see you again. Until next Monday, tits up.